Welcome to the Brass and Woodwind Shop. A customer brought in a trumpet and he wants me to strip the lacquer off of it. There are different ways to strip off lacquer. They make some large tanks that you can put some stripper in and then you just dip it right into the tank. However, I am going to use the brush-on type. This comes from Faree's Tools. I have a can and a paintbrush. I'm going to use that to do the stripping. I'm going to remove the parts that do not need stripping. I took off all the parts that do not need to be stripped. I'm going to put the trumpet on a wooden assembly mandrel, and that will help hold it while I work on it. I put some of the stripper in a can, and I have a paintbrush. I'm just going to paint that onto there. I opened the doors and windows in my shop because this can get a little bit smelly. I'm going to paint this on the entire trumpet wherever there's lacquer, and then it should start acting in just a few minutes. It's probably about 10 minutes later. I got the lacquer stripper on the whole trumpet. Where I got started on the bell, the lacquer is most of the way loose already. I'm going to wait a few more minutes for it to act on the rest of the lacquer. Right here you can see the lacquer starting to come off. I'm going to take the trumpet off of the mandrel and rinse it off with water. Now I'm going to rinse off the stripper and the lacquer. And it looks like I'm going to need to brush it off a little bit, so I'm going to do that while I wash it. Okay, most of it's coming off nicely. Right there you can see a large chunk of lacquer just stripping right off. I'm going to continue to get all the lacquer off, just like the skin coming off of a snake. This is actually a very easy job. I'm going to leave a link in the description below to where you can get the lacquer stripper. However, I do not think they will ship it outside of the United States though. I'm going to continue to brush this off till I'm done, and then I'll touch up any spots that I missed. I finished getting all the lacquer off and I cleaned up the trumpet, so it is almost done. I still have to do inside of the bell, and I may need to touch up a few other places on the trumpet that I missed the first time. And there's the lacquer that was on the trumpet. All that's left is to strip the lacquer on the bell, so I'm going to put this on here. Then I'm going to do something that I do not do very often, which is fast forward the camera. Okay, here we go. It's been about 6 minutes, and you can see that most of the lacquer is ready to come off. I'm going to clean up the bell, and then I'm going to check the rest of the trumpet and see if there are any places that I missed on it. That is about all there is to taking lacquer off of a brass instrument. As you can see, this instrument is still shiny, but since the lacquer is not on it anymore, the oxygen will get at the brass, and then it's going to start to tarnish, and it will look a lot like this. And this is one that I stripped the lacquer off of. This is what it looks like after having no lacquer on it for 28 years. I will put a link in the description below to where you can get the lacquer stripper, and as you can see, it did not use very much. A container this size should work on several brass instruments. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please subscribe for more band instrument repair videos.